1.1 liter 3-cylinder Kubota.
Well, I'm curious about this Caterpillar thing you're talking about.
We
Not-
are
we'll talk about it a little
live.
bit.
Yeah, I'm a little curious about the Caterpillar thing too.
Poor DS.
We'll save that for the after show.
The after party.
Oh,
Let's
look
get
at that.
the,
Power Stroke Tech Talk with A-Rod.
Got it.
Can't
Let's
find there it is.
let's not close it out like we did last time. What is up, fellas? Trying to get this there we go. Get this popped out. We are going to be talking about a bunch of stuff tonight. Welcome back, fam. We have a full house. We got all the fellas with us, and yeah, I've been having an issue getting some of my what do you call those, notifications on Instagram, and a lot of you guys reached out, and I was kind of overwhelmed with all of the questions, and you want better time to figure out what's going on with all of your guys' trucks than the live stream. We're going to go over that. Ford Boss, we have some stuff to talk with him. We're going to talk batteries. What the hell is going on with these batteries? Oh my goodness. Forded Beer Tech. Bearded Ford Tech. Forded Bearded Tech. What is up? DS, he's going to try to stay awake. He's over there floating behind Hot Shot Secrets. We're going to talk Hot Shot Secrets today. A couple of you guys are reaching out, wanting to know what kind of winter juice we're running. Is it time for anti-gel? When do you start running it? Crowdy, I know you out there. We're going to talk about it. Yeah, 430 gears, bubbly to you.
Okay.
Let's turn the old phone on vibrate, because I know I'm going to get bombarded by old reeling here. So right off the rip, let's talk Hot Shot Secrets. They have just sent me their winter defense EDT. I just put this in the truck last week, and I just made a short today talking about that, and also their oil additive FR3. I don't know if you guys are running this. I got half my bottle gone. Use our code, PTT code at checkout. DS actually has one too, DS-trucks. And if you use those in combo, you can save a double. So it works out great. A lot of guys were commenting. I noticed the difference how their truck ran. Guy said his regen frequency was cut in half, so that's definitely a plus. If you're running the Stiction eliminator, that would be more for CP's garage, the Huey, excuse me, the Huey injection. But that would be, with the top side of the injectors, the high pressure oil side. So check out the Hot Shot stuff. DS was, he was running their oil.
Yeah, their oil's
PAO,
good.
right?
Yeah, it's really good.
I've turned a lot of people onto their oil.
A-Rod, tell us about the 23 Super Duty you saw. Did you like the blue? I did like the blue. I'm going to tell you what I did not like. I feel like I haven't seen it in person to where I could take it in slowly and walk around it. I just seen it visually driving, and what I saw is I feel the emblems on the side look like it's carrying a sword, like you got a sword hanging off, like you know what I'm saying? Maybe it'll grow on me, as well as the front end. I didn't really pay attention to the bow tie crew and the steps here in the bed. And then I saw a Chevy and I was like, oh, I don't know.
I don't like that.
I don't know.
They copied that. They copied it shamelessly. But the bumper one I can see me using.
I like the grip. You can put your hand up. I don't know if
I'll use that.
I thought
The
that'd be
one on
kind
the
of cool.
side, I don't know if I'll use that.
I mean,
Maybe
Ford
I-
wouldn't put it on there if it wasn't something people wanted.
Daddy Diesel.
I mean, Ford doesn't like to spend money, so why design a hole in the side of the bed where you can step on
I think it looks cleaner without.
Hey, man, I'm glad it's there. I'm short. I need it. I need it.
Me too. I'm
I'm
short and fat.
excited. I'm excited to see. Now I could care about that other shit. That's not going to make the truck go down the road. I want to see numbers. I want to talk engine. I want to talk trans. And we just, my coworker, got a brand new 22 in. Check this out. Brand new 22. Was just built like 6 weeks ago. This CCV box is the same one that is on the 23. This VIN is too new. Ford Boss and Bearded Ford Tech CP, we know what happens when we have such a new vehicle. ECAT, the electronic catalog that we look up all of your guys' parts in, doesn't recognize the VIN because it's too new. So we wanted to cross the part number and say, could we put this CCV box on other 6.7s? It is considerably smaller. It's like, this is the old CCV box from 11 to 22, well, to 21, let's just say. And then this is the new one. It's considerably smaller and looks way cleaner. You can get to the back intake bolts so much better. It is worth checking. I will definitely be posting information about that just for guys who maybe don't want to take it off, but want a smaller version of the same thing, which essentially is going to be doing the same thing. But yeah, I'd be definitely
And it's not
excited
like-
about that.
It's not like we haven't seen earlier production things. When I say that, show up sooner on specific like engines and stuff like that,
Mhm.
because we've seen that throughout the history of manufacturing. A lot of people say that you can't find a cabin air filter in this year, but why in your video are you working on an 07, but there's a cabin air filter in that? Well, like I've brought up before, depending on production and what's available, how late it's being made, how early it's being made, some of those things can change. Your 07 may have this where it didn't have that. So they may have run out
True.
of this style of boxes and they put a newer style box in there because everything bolts up. It's the same exact way. I've seen that in Transit Connects. I've seen that in older Fusions. I've seen that in F-150s and stuff like that. This is, nothing new. And if you're onto something there, that could be something that is possibly, it could be a tasteful upgrade to your 6.7.
Mhm.
Well, when you
I
think
mean-
about this CCV box, we've been seeing a little bit of oil in the turbo in the intake
Mhm.
area. I
Mhm.
wonder if that could be a culprit of why there could possibly be oil consumption, or why is that oil getting? Does this new one have a different design of baffles or anything like that? That
Could be.
potentially-
Could be. I mean, it is definitely smaller in size. It got me thinking like maybe I should get one of those. I kind of like it.
Try
Kind of
it out.
like it.
Oh.
I kind of like it.
I mean-
Come again over.
I mean, Ford's been doing this crossover crap since even my truck. My
I want to
90
see
Really?
that. I want
I
to
know-
see that water cooled turbo crossover.
my 97 has a 99 motor in it.
Yeah.
96 they changed. 97 they changed it to the 99 motor because they were out. But 97's a bastard year anyways, so.
Yeah.
There was two F-250s, a light duty and a heavy duty.
Hold on. Colt 45 might be time for a valve body. To continue with what we were just talking about, DS, we really saw this in the 6.0 era. We had 2003, the beginning half was 7.3, the latter half was 6.0, and then that came to 04, and then we had a combination of weird built 03, 04s and 04. It was really weird time frame between 03 and let's just say 05 when we got it all cleared up. But like the 6.7, I know we've had a bunch of changes, you know, from 11 to current, but it's not like you know, stuff was deleted and then mismatched, and then, you know, they brought it back. I mean, for pretty much everything, the pipes are the same, the air cleaner got switched around, the battery tray got switched around, charger cooler's been in the same spots, always had 2 radiators, always had a CCV, got rid of the trans dipstick tube. Kind of weird. I don't care about the accessibility with getting tools in there. I think we should have a trans dipstick tube. I don't know what their plans are for the future, but I think if anything, they should be listening to the consumers, or, you know, most importantly, us as their voice is, dude, we'll pay the extra $10 a truck. Give us a GD trans dipstick tube. We want to check our fluid. And some guys don't want to lay underneath the truck and pull the drain plug and check it while it's hot underneath the truck next to your cats because you got a gas truck. Kind of a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
But it's what we got to deal with. Colt 45, check the video out for the valve body. It's not a common problem, but if it's holding gear and not slipping, I've had a 3.4 like that, and had to put a valve body in a 2011 and a 2015. Somebody asked a question up here, and I think I forgot it. Poor Ray off the side, wondering why these guys are so excited over Ford.
I'm just thinking about my 07, just smiling. I don't have any of those. You guys got the
That's a good truck you got.
Oh, actually, I kind of take that back. It needs injectors.
Ah,
It's got 215,000 on them, if those are the originals. And I've had the truck since 108,000, so they're done. It's time.
They were done probably about 100,000 miles ago.
I'm feeling like a slight power balance kind of issue under load. Sometimes I get some odd smoke. It's starting to show up again.
how many miles are on it?
Well, 215,000.
Okay.
Yeah, I really noticed it. I think I told you guys this last week, but I really noticed it after I ran the thing overnight when our power was out, because I would go to drive it the next day and it was just pouring out white smoke for like a mile, just unburnt fuel that it was loading up with all night. And I was like, yeah, that's an injector. It's time.
Big job.
I don't know, 8 hours or so, kind of. But see, the problem with something like that is you go, okay, well, if I'm going to put in a set of injectors, then I should probably put in a new pump. And if I'm going to put in a new injection pump, I should probably upgrade the filters. And if I'm going to upgrade the filters, let's get a lift pump. So next thing you know, the job turns into this huge, gigantic project. And it's either, in my mind, it's either all or none. You know, just don't do some of it. Either do it all or don't do it.
What kind of pump? Is that a high pressure fuel system?
Just the injection pump. It's a CP3.
So it's a CP3 system, so it's more reliable.
Sure. Yeah. You know, I never really paid hardcore attention to what the issue was with the CP4s. I heard it was a bunch of random stuff, but it really wasn't something that I followed too closely.
When it comes down to it, it's fuel quality. That's what it is when it comes down to it.
Well, that CP3, the CP3 has a different design. It's got less wear points. It's a little bit more expensive to build it, but it don't make the same higher pressure that the CP4 makes. It's got the CP4's got a real aggressive cam lobe. It's got a ton of lift.
Okay.
And the CP3 doesn't have that aggressive as a lobe.
I've heard of people swapping to a CP4. Like, what's involved with that? Is it like just a direct bolt on and
totally different shape?
You have to do here.
Yeah. I mean,
on the Dodges, it's pretty much a direct swap because they go from CP4 to CP3s.
Wow. Can you imagine if we could do that?
Don't have enough
Well,
room.
you wouldn't want the lower PSI of a CP3 either, right?
Not if
Oh.
I've got an option.
Well, the the PSI on a CP4 is like 25,000 PSI to 30,000 PSI. Is real high. It's higher. The CP4 is higher performance
Okay.
than a CP3.
Well, see, and like I said, that's how it starts. Because now you've got me thinking, okay, let's upgrade the pump and then get some 30 over injectors while we're there.
Then we get a tune.
Then we get a tune and maybe an intercooler while it's all apart.
Ooh.
And studs.
See how it
Because now-
goes? Like, this is just
How much
it
power?
started
How
out.
much power can that thing handle?
Can of worms right there.
The trans can handle about 500 sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much if you do anything to it, you've got to build the trans. At the
Better
same
call
time.
Suncoast.
Yeah. Yes,
Educated guesses on the 6.7 high output torque and
More than
horsepower.
everybody.
I'm gonna guess like 1,300 foot-pounds of torque, maybe 1,350.
Bullshit.
There, I would think.
They're just going to leave everyone in the dust. That's what they're going to do.
Better keep climbing that ladder, DS.
You think more than that? You think more than 1,350?
I think.
I think they're going to leave everyone in the dust.
Yeah.
Just
Mhm.
smack it.
What are your thoughts? I mean, they're water cooling the turbo. Is that a lot more? I mean, you're pulling more heat away from the
I
turbo. That's
think
more
it's
power.
where they're doing it on the turbo. The coolant feed is in the block right underneath it and gets fed via a port and goes back down into the block. Oh, I'm sorry. It's fed via this quick disconnect line. I'm sorry, from the crossover tube and gets discharged down to the block. So I don't know if they have coolant going around a different part of the turbo in the middle, because when we were looking at the engine that somebody had on YouTube, you could clearly see the two quick disconnects going right to the cowl, like right underneath the cowl. There's two, titties coming off like an actuator or something right in the middle of the turbo. And that's definitely not where the ones are on the model now. And what I also noticed is that there's a sensor now in the hot side charge air cooler tube, where we do not have that. We only have it in the cold. So now they're monitoring the temp coming out of the turbo, not only on the hot and cold, but they're going to be trying to get as more precise as they can. Obviously, if we're going to be boosting horsepower and torque, we got to keep the goodies cold, or cooler rather. So definitely we'll see torquey.
From the pictures I've seen, it looks like they're cooling the
What up?
cold side. I'm going to assume they're probably going to cool it with the low side cooling system too.
Absolutely. Hope you have a good day at work there, buddy. Appreciate you. Water meth injection. I don't know if you're going to be doing that on a 6.7, but I'd love to see somebody try. That would be pretty nasty. Let's go in mid conversation here. Let's pick one of these Instagram. Hey, what's wrong with my truck? Let's see. Well, let's see. Let's pick one. Okay, here we go. We have a let me paint the picture. We got a 2011 6.7. Hey, boss man, just watched your video on serpentine belt after I couldn't figure it out. Thanks for the video. After 10 minutes of watching it, I got it. This is my glow plug fuse box thingy. Not sure what the name is, but my glow plugs 5, 6, 7, and 8 are not working. And I have codes for all four. 2011, 4 glow plug codes. Oh man, this can't be good. Could one of these fuses be broke? If so, how do I test to verify? Thanks, brother. I told him he would have to check continuity. He says continuity was good. Here's my forescan, and checking some stuff out, looked at his codes, and then the next day later, he sent me a picture of 4 glow plugs that have no tips.
Ooh,
Ooh.
bad day.
Well, I responded with, oof. It's gonna be engine time, bruh. Long block. I've been guilty with 2 of those to have been bestowed upon me. Both cab chassis, single cab utility trucks. Just had a whole bunch of shit on them. Air compressors under the step running boards. It was, I'll never forget it. It was a debacle. But yeah, we had to replace that long block. Oof. As soon as I seen the tips of those things, like, oh man, that's not good. That's a no good. Ford boss, kind of jealous.
Mhm.
But dude, where are you about to catch a flight to?
SEMA.
What?
Yep. Yep. So the story is, some of you guys have been seeing some of my videos on the JM3 oil filter wrench,
Gotta get him.
and I ordered a set because a lot of people were wanting me to do a review on it, and I fell in love with the things, man. They're just, I use them every single day. Anytime I'm doing services now, I don't know if Aaron or somebody, you guys can pull up what they look like and share it. But they are just absolutely phenomenal. And the more I used the product, the more I liked it, the more I realized how beneficial it is for us to have it in our toolboxes. And I've gotten a couple people out of some pretty hairy situations with stuck filters and filters in tight spots and stuff like that. And I started talking about it. I started showing it, and the gentleman that was that engineered the product, that he's the owner of the product, that runs the website, www.jm3oilfilterwrench.com. He reached out to me and he said, dude, I just, my orders, my sales and stuff, it went through the roof. I can't believe what you've done for my company. I really appreciate the support from one veteran to another. It's been my dream to make this happen. And I basically walked away from a company that was very lucrative to make my dream happen. And the story is, the short of it is, him and his brother, his brother's no longer with us, God rest his soul. They were working on a vehicle or something back in the day, and they couldn't get a filter off, and they're shoving screwdrivers and stuff through it and everything else, and we're just ripping the filter open. And he talked to his brother and he said, I wonder if I could come up with a design on something that I could fit over this filter, that when everything else is failing would help me get this off without having to go through all this. And he went to work and he came up with this dinosaur tool that ended up progressively getting smaller and more efficient and smaller and more efficient. And then he bought a plasma cutting, or like a plasma cutting machine that's controlled by like a computer, and he can design everything to spec. And now this guy's making, specific oil filter wrenches tailored to, like me. I wanted a Ford set. I wanted it for the 820, the 910, the 500, the 400. And he even has super duty and heavy duty wrenches and stuff like that.
Hell yeah.
Well, I see one for the 1995.
Well, he's created a newer design that's going to be released at SEMA. And I want to wait. I don't want to talk too much about it. I want you guys to see it after it's been released. I don't want to really ruin that for him. But it's basically a design that is, he either already has it or it's getting released. It is for those filters that don't have the flats on it to spin them off. And it's some kind of type of design that will grab the filter and basically assist you in removing it. Again, I'm not going to go any further than that, but he was really impressed with how I supported him and supported his product. And I'm a vet, and I have a soft spot in my heart for other veterans that have given themselves, given their time up for this country and stuff like that, and for us and our freedom. So I'm behind him 100%. I believe in his product. I love showing the product. I love using the product. And he said, I'd love for you to join me at SEMA. I want you to be there with me. So I'm going to bring you out here. I'm going to give you an exhibitor badge. You're going to have your own badge and everything. He actually just as I was saying that, just texted me and said, badge and everything's been confirmed. Flight's already
That's
confirmed.
awesome.
I'm leaving November 1st, first thing in the morning, flying out to Vegas, and he's put me up in a Airbnb and stuff that he has and everything. So it's I'm excited. I'm excited to be a part of the journey and his success as a company. And if you guys are interested in anything like that as well, reach out to him and say, let him know that Aaron and Ford Boss sent you.
Oh, yeah.
Let's help this guy out. Let's get it rolling for him. I'm
Flog
super.
that, flog that, flog that, flog that.
I'm gonna
That's
be.
gonna be fun, man.
Oh, I guess I can't wait, man. I
That's gonna be way
cannot
cool.
wait.
Way cool. Never been there. Maybe next year. I know. I don't think Ford. Who's going to be there?
Yeah,
Oh, there's the
that's-
wrenches right there. Check them out.
So he's got all kinds of different colors and designs, and specifically made for specific filters and stuff, even aftermarket filters, not just all OE.
Look at them
And
things.
I love it, man. I haven't had a filter.
Motorcraft.
I haven't had a single filter yet that I have destroyed where this thing has ripped the filter open. And it's been able to get every single one of them off. And I was doing like a 21 or 22 Bronco. You know how that filter's stuck in the wheel well? And you got to go through the wheel well, especially on like Rangers and stuff. It's kind of difficult to get up in there. And there was a guy that said, well, why don't you just use an extension and a ratchet and a claw or something like that? Why would I do any of that when I can just put this one tool in my hand, reach my hand right through the fender, and I'm on the filter right away, and all I'm using is my palm and my fingers. So if you guys don't understand how the tool works, if Cody, if you pull up one of those pictures so right here, you see where it says JM3 and it's got the line underneath the numbers? That is the fixed part. That is the assembly that actually that will stay still. The part that's on the other side, the thinner part that's on the spring side, you will bring that part rotating into the JM3 side. It's a outer ring, and then in the center is a ring that moves in itself. And basically, it's a self-contained unit that as you pull your fingers or whatever you want to rest that JM3 part up against, it will rotate on the flats of the filter instead of basically it's a torque multiplier. Each one of the teeth inside that thing grab a flat on the filter, and you have a round pivoting point, and then your fingers and your muscle, your power, you're pulling in with your fingers. It's a torque multiplier. So a lot of people are like, oh, that little chintzy thing. Well, it's made of steel, and it's all welded together all the way around, and it's a torque multiplier. So it's not as chintzy and flimsy as people look at it and they're like, oh, that's not going to work. That's nothing.
Mhm.
You
Well, it's
squeeze
made
that thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that the JM3 part stays still, and then you move the spring-loaded side into the JM3 part. So
Oh, wow.
yes, and it takes some really seriously stuck filters when you can't get straps, you can't get bands, you can't get anything in there. Those plasma type band wrenches, you can put this on there, and it will rotate it in spot, right where it's at. And then you just pop it off, grab you another flat, let the handle pop back out, and do it again. 2 or 3 turns, you've already got it loose.
So you grip it and it turns it for you?
No, you grip it, you put your palm up against the JM3 side, and then you take your fingers and put it on the other side with a spring, and you pull your fingers into your palm. So
Okay, I got you now. Okay.
I would be seriously impressed to see it get a stuck 7.3 filter off,
right.
I'd love to use one.
because I've seen stuck 7.3 filters
Oh, yeah.
so stuck
Dude.
that you break the housing off
So
Hit
look
that.
before
here.
you get the filter off.
See this right here is a newer design that you're looking at.
Perfect. Look at this.
Right there. Here's the newer design that you're looking at. This is the one that I didn't want to really say too much about because I haven't had my hands on it. But this is the newer design right here for those rounded, really rough, like industrial type filters. And that ring, that locking ring right there, as you
Jeez.
rotate it, will come around and help bite into that filter and help you spin it off of there.
Look at that thing.
Yeah.
Mhm. I think I need like the whole set.
I want to see this thing
Oh, yeah.
grab
Right?
this filter.
You see his palm, he's trying to move more of his fingers than his palm when you do that. And then even if you get it locked in, you can move your whole hand. Yeah, like that.
But you still got to turn it. You still got to turn it. And
No, no, DS. Some of them you can turn depending on the application, but that is not the original intent of the design. The original intent of the design is that center ring actually rotates inside itself when you pull your fingers. This particular one you can use as an assist by turning the whole thing, but that's not the intent of the original design. The original design is pulling the handle into itself, and then if you need to turn more while it's locked in, you can.
Okay.
That thing is awesome. I definitely want to check that out.
So this other one this is like a bigger version for a more.
That's the more industrial heavy duty design right there.
That's a 7.3 one. That's a FL 1995 all day.
So
Right.
you've got so it looks like he's using a tool to separate it.
That's for the heavy duty one. If it gets stuck and it won't pop out like that, you see how it doesn't have a spring on that design? He's basically,
yeah, right.
this design is more the heavy duty guys, the guys that are on more of like the bigger diesel filters and stuff like that. So you get an assisted tool to go with it. So whenever you clamp in and pull it together, you can take that tool and pop it back apart and then go back up and it folds in on itself like that. It stores the tool in the handle.
I like that. That's like, I like how it stows in the handle there. I like the colors too. Those are rad.
Very well built.
I do. Yeah.
It is. It's a very, very, very nice setup. And you can see on his he's got a lot of videos of me. So that right there is the smaller design. If you click on that one, you can just see the basic on a tabletop demonstration.
Oh, okay. Here, DS, look at him. He's
moving his fingers into right here. This is the basic principle of how it's designed to work. You try not to move the jam right there. He's moving it into itself. So you don't need to.
So as he releases that thing and then bites it again, will it turn it more like a ratcheting action?
You pull it off.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
you don't ratchet it. You pull it off, you reset it and do it again. Pull it off, reset it, do it again.
Now I can see how that gets you in those tight spots where you
Right.
can't rotate.
The Crown Vics, the Grand Marquis, the town cars, any of the 21 like Broncos, the 19 and up.
Oh my gosh.
Rangers.
I just did my first oil change on a Bronco. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So this.
Oh my goodness.
Where is it?
You just stick your hand right through the fender well area with this tool, and you don't need a bunch of other tools. You just need one tool, and that's it.
That's it. That would make that job
Dude, that's pretty
way
sleek.
easier.
That is pretty sleek.
Yeah.
Because you don't need to swing it.
Good for him for making something like that. That's
But
really
he's talked about giving more to the consumer as well. This is the initial phase. Like, this is the tool, but there's maybe in the future plans to have some kind of LED light in the handle to like project light in the area where you're going to be at. That might be going a little too far, but who knows? He's actually thinking about how can I make it better for the technician? How can I make it better for the consumer? So he's not done. He's constantly thinking of ways that he can actually make this thing even better than what it is.
I like how small it is.
Right.
Sitting in his hand, how DS was saying, we can get into them tight spots, even on, like on the Crown Vic, and all you really need is, look at that swing room, is your fingers. You're not re-indexing that strap and then having to put your other hand up there to hold the strap to get it to, wow, I really like that. I can't wait to get my hands on them.
I've went as
If
far
it did a
as
ratchet, that'd be better. Sorry.
I've went as far as not just using it for stock filters. Like if I'm doing an F-150 or something like that, I won't go grab my regular tool no more. I'll grab that thing, I'll put it right on, I'll pull down one time, and I'll use my whole hand as I lock it in, and I'll use it like DS said. I'll pull the whole thing because it's just so easy to use. It's like you don't even have to think about it. It's like, well, I'm looking at something else or talking to somebody else, I'm reaching my hand up in there, I got it on there, pull it down, done. It's just too easy to use the tool. It's just too easy.
Well, while we were talking about oil filters, how do you tighten an oil filter?
Flip it around the other way. So if you can't get it.
Really?
Yeah,
you use this to tighten it.
Yeah, you can go both ways. So like if you're wanting to if you're wanting to loosen one up that's real stubborn and you need to get this tool in there to break it loose, the premise of this tool is to help with really stubborn filters. Now it's going to work with 98, 99% of the filters, but you're going to have that 1 or 2 situation where you might have to go get something else because this is just not the application that fits for that particular thing. But most applications, this will work. Now I've had it to where, like the LS, Aaron's right there next to him. You know how the oil filter sits right up next to that pan? It's in that awkward spot where you can't get your fingers all the way around it. So you're trying to do the whole spin the filter until it makes contact and then go 3/4 to 1 full turn and then you're done. Well, sometimes you can't get your fingers all the way around that filter on those LS engines. So when you go spin it on there all the way and make contact, do as much as you can with your fingers. And if you're second guessing yourself, like, man, I'd like to get like another 1/4 turn, take that tool, stick it up on there, flip it the opposite direction of loosening it, but flip the JM3 the other way, and then grab your fingers and pull them back into your palm again. Now you're rotating the opposite direction. You've just turned another 1/4 turn.
And you didn't turn crazy. You didn't turn it a ton. It only can turn so far.
Right. You only turn just a little bit more just to get that warm and fuzzy that, okay, now I know I got my filter tight enough.
So there's been a debate or controversy. How tight do you tighten the filter? Do you put a strap on it and give it a 1/4 turn after you tighten it by hand? What is your thoughts? Like, how do you tighten the filter?
Well, most filters have the directions on it, and they'll say something like, you spin the filter on until it makes surface contact. And then you go 3/4 turn to 1 turn and you're done. Most of us have strong enough hands to where we're just spinning it on, it makes contact, it stops, you're just doing it real lightly, it stops, and then you just go one nice firm turn, 3/4, 1 turn. Some people say 3/4 enough. I tell people 3/4 to 1 turn. It says right on the filter on some of them that make contact and then go 3/4 to 1 additional turn. And that tool, the other day when I had my old lady's, I just did a bunch of services on her 07 GMC Sierra, and I mean I'm talking tires, brakes, drums, like Valvoline full synthetic advanced formula, Wix XP oil filter. Like I gave her the works. You'd swear that I was trying to milk something out of her, but I really wasn't. I just wanted to take care of her. And that filter, I was for sure I did not get that thing on there tight enough because on some of those LS engines, I've had a couple problems with the Wix filter starting to back off. And I'll go ahead and tighten it up as much as I can by hand, but you can't get your fingers all the way around it. I took his tool and stuck it on there and spun it that last little bit. Man, it's been perfect. I didn't have to use anything
Hell
else.
yeah.
And his tool is like one of the only ones that is like pretty robust and with as small as it is that you can fit all the way up over that filter by that oil pan and actually spin it the rest of the way. And you got plenty of clearance.
I know that's how this is.
Yeah.
Up against the oil pan, just can't get your hands all the way around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You stick that tool on there and you can just give it the last little bit you need and that's it.
I saw somebody, I think it was on TikTok, like a mechanic guy, and he got a plastic bag, and put that over the oil filter, and then took the oil filter off. I mean, I don't have that.
You're talking about the plastic cup.
Yeah, in the shop.
Put it in a plastic cup.
That was a good idea.
Yeah. Yep.
DF says he has weak hands, so he uses the wrench. Does he make anything for insert oil filters?
We're going to find out. I mean, right now, I think what you see on the website is what he has.
Okay.
I'm sure he's not done. He's got a very bright mind, and his strong point is like when he looks at something and he's able to come up with it and invent it or whatever. Like he's got a very, very, very bright mind when it comes to that. So
that's what's up. I definitely am interested. I have a 2016 6.7 and I can't get the primary fuel filter under the truck. It won't come off. It's fans. What do I do? Any ideas? Well, I hope you're using the big, 32 mil socket.
32 mil.
Gotta do it. If it's gonna break, it's gonna break. But usually they're on there pretty good, and you just gotta bust that rubber seal loose. And once you get it, you get it. So.
Does HS Motorsports have a kit for that truck?
Yes, they do. We gonna have a
I
video
would-
coming soon. I'm excited for it.
I would highly
Installing-
recommend that for that filter.
I mean, they've got
installing-
even just a metal cap for it. So
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, even the metal cap, that'd be good too. But
absolutely. What is tight turns? I don't want to use that on a 2016. Absolutely not. Somebody's got Fox 2.0 shocks, and it's not me. I will be installing a set this weekend. Crowdy, Kraut. He's excited. So, which by the way, I think he's got to run by you and actually grab that fifth wheel bed harness or something. He said he was
Yeah,
going to.
I told him that the parts department, I told you the parts department was going to throw it away because it's been sitting there forever. And I was like, no, don't throw that away. I think Aaron needs that. Aaron would want that.
Hell yeah.
So I grabbed it. It's still in the box. I just opened it up to look at it or whatever. And it's got the harness and everything inside it.
What does the fox say? I got that in everybody's head now. Ha 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 ha.
What does the fox say? You know what I got in everybody's head the other day? That I remember back in 2007, we were standing in formation right outside of Delta Company, right before PT, and this one guy pulls up some video or whatever, and it's like badger, mushroom. So, it's a snake. So we're all standing there like watching this like video or whatever. We start doing this dance. If you Google badger mushroom dance or something like that, it's so stupid.
That's funny shit, dude.
re-internet kind of stuff.
And things are like 14 years ago, and I still think about that today. And I do it in front of my old lady and my daughter, and she's like, "Dad, shut up."
And get the eye roll. Gotta love the eye roll. I have Frankenstein shocks. Don't know anything about that. Has the update for the Ford Pass sleep issue? Good question. I've been getting asked like 3 times in the last couple of weeks. What are we going to do with this deep sleep message I'm getting on my new Super Duty? Engineering is still working on it. They will be letting us know here shortly, hopefully by the end of the year, if we are going to be getting some sort of TCU update or something.
I had it happen. I've had it happen with 2 other vehicles, an F-150 and a Transit. And the guy reached out to me and he emailed me as like a newer Transit. And he said, "Why does this deep sleep keep happening? I keep getting these notifications." And I was like, "Look, man, a lot of people are complaining about this. The Super Duty guys, the F-150 guys, some of the Transit guys and stuff like that." And I was like, "Look, this is what I want you to do. I want you to, some of you have BMS, some of you don't. Some of you gas or Super Duty guys, look at your negative cable and see if you got a connector on the negative cable plugged in. You have BMS if you have it plugged in. And the diesel guys aren't going to have it, but the gasser guys will." And both times it worked. I had the F-150 guy and the Transit guy go out to the vehicle, key on, flash the brights 5 times, hit the brake pedal 3 times, reset the BMS, and it quit the deep sleep mode stuff. They no longer have that problem anymore. And this ties into our other topic of battery stuff.
We don't have BMS, but we do have one of those clamps around the cables.
Yeah.
I did a 21 today that had a BMS.
So maybe it could, maybe there's something there.
Maybe. Very
It wouldn't do it
interesting.
with the high beams. I had to use FDRS.
I'm writing myself a note. What did you say, Ford Boss? You said flash the high beams what?
Anthony, what vehicle did you do it on?
F450.
But it was a diesel, right?
Yeah, it was a 6.7.
Yeah, the procedure's not going to work for diesels, from what I understand. It's only going to work for gassers.
Yeah, it doesn't work on the diesel. I had to use the FDRS.
Oh, okay, okay.
So it's if you get one of the gassers, Aaron, it's key on or push button on, engine not running.
Hell yeah.
Flash the high beams 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hit the brake pedal 3 times, and about 10 seconds later, you'll see the battery light flash, 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 flash. BMS is reset.
Mm. Just writing down a quick couple of notes. Jog my memory tomorrow when I get a newer Super Duty. See WTF if that's gonna work or not, because I'm definitely gonna be making a video. Either myself or Ford Boss will be letting you guys know what the dilly is. Costco hot dogs are the best. So is their pizza. I actually stopped there on lunch about a few weeks ago, and I just wanted a slice. Dude, it was like $2.50 and a
Delicious.
drink.
Mhm.
It
Delicious.
was delicious. Batteries. I don't know what the deal is going on with these batteries, but I just replaced batteries yesterday in a truck, and these it was a 20, had 34,000 on it, and these ones were so wet on top that the damn metal brackets started getting corroded. So I couldn't let my man go with some dirty ass brackets. I put them on the bench, ground them down, hit it with some high temp spray paint, black spray paint, restored them back to OE fashion, and yeah, had to put some batteries. The video we saw of the 23, they had AGM batteries. So I think I'd want to put AGMs in mine. I want to see what battery size they're putting in the new 23s, because that might be a video that's worth making, upgrading your batteries from your factory OE lead acid to 650, 750 AGMs. Maybe. I don't know if they're the same size as the Transits. The Transit's got a little different configuration, but maybe we'll have a different battery video coming up here shortly. Costco Interstate batteries are refurbished. The true green and black top Interstates are where it's at. Now, we were talking here on the pregame, and Ford Boss, where do you get your batteries?
I get my batteries from 2 places, either Walmart, don't hate. If you guys know anything about Project Farm is a very, very honest, very realistic guy. He does a lot of very, very good testing. And the Walmart batteries are one of the top batteries that he came up with. I wanted to try for myself. So on this the new Grand Marquis, I took the battery out of it and I ran to Walmart, and I'm looking at the Walmart battery, and I got the top of the line one they had. They even have an AGM Walmart battery now. And I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, wait a second. Everything is the same. The box is the same. The design is the same. The stickers are laid out in the same area and stuff. It looks like the same exact dang Motorcraft battery. And I started doing some research, and I've known this for a while, but there's only a few battery manufacturing companies that they basically make batteries to a certain spec and they just label them. And the Motorcraft battery was set up the same exact way, the same exact dimensions as the one I bought from Walmart. And then I thought about it. If I was in a pinch, I would stop at Walmart and I would grab one of their batteries because they tested so well. And I've had very, very good luck with them so far, and they're cheap batteries. But where else can I find a good warranted battery that's cheaper than the parts store and seems to be of better quality? I would go to the dealer. I like Motorcraft Max batteries. The warranty, the price, you cannot beat it. For what I can buy a battery with no employee discount, because batteries are priced at what batteries are priced at.
Yep.
The Max batteries, it's cheaper to get it through the dealer, than to go to the local parts store and I'm getting a better warranty for it. And it's made by the same exact company that makes the same one that fits my vehicle as Walmart. Is it Johnson Controls? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Controls, yeah.
Now, when we deal with these batteries at work, Rich, you bought a battery over the counter. Customer came in, wanted a works package. You test the battery, batteries failed. It wasn't under warranty. Replace the battery. If that battery were to fail within 18 months, what is the customer to expect?
Like a replacement?
Yeah. What is the warranty on these Motorcraft batteries if you were to get them over the counter?
Well, the max batteries are different than the standard batteries. From what I understood, isn't the max battery something like, I may be wrong. You correct me. Is it 3 years, 2 years prorated?
I didn't know there was a max.
Yeah, it's better. I think I paid like $159 or $179 or something for this battery, and my parts guy was like, yeah, if it goes bad in 3 years, that's replaced for free. And then the other 2 years after that is prorated, so you're still going to get money back. You're still prorated out to the lifespan of most batteries anyway, and most people are replacing their batteries between 3 to 4 to 5 years anyway. So the Motorcraft Max battery pretty much has you covered all the way out into the last day of what most people would keep their batteries in their vehicle anyhow.
So this max battery, is it sealed or does it still have everything come out of the top?
No, they're sealed units. You can't, like, I'm not saying all of them are sealed, but the ones that I have experience with, the ones that I have replaced, they're not like you can pop them, the tops off of them, and you can refill them with, distilled water and recharge them and all this other stuff. They're sealed units. The ones that I've dealt with, and they have the best warranty from what I've seen at the best price from what I've seen.
So I got the regular Motorcraft batteries. I got 4 years out of this set, and they're starting to get weak. You can hear the starter when it first started today. It sounds a little slower, and I actually did get some notifications on the infotainment saying that it was detecting low voltage or something like that. Or like if you sit in a car for 5 minutes and it says, "Hey, your battery's low. We're starting to shut some features off," or whatever it says.
What vehicle is this?
This is a 2019. This is my 2019 F-250. Yeah. So, I mean, I've had these batteries since the truck was new. And I'm thinking I want to go with the Motorcraft again.
I would go in the Motorcraft Max.
We have Motorcraft Max. But what I was going to say is, yeah, these batteries have been pretty damn good for being just OEM batteries. I mean, 4 years is not bad. And it's a ton of stop and go and snow plowing, salting. So that stuff's pretty, and they've lasted 4 years. So I really can't complain too much.
I have a battery that I just got rid of in my 1983 that had the sticker on it from 11.
Wow.
For real.
But here's something else to go. I don't know where, like, some of the other people in the comment section where they get their batteries from, but I've had good luck with a lot of different batteries from people, but I also take very good care of my batteries. Like every month I'm wiping the engine bay down, wiping the batteries and stuff off, every couple of weeks or something during the summer. I don't just let things go. And also I don't own a business like some of the guys that follow us do that can't, they're not looking for every little thing that they can clean up and take care of all the time because they have to run their business. If they nitpicked every single vehicle they had, they'd never get anything done. I understand that, but I've noticed that a lot of it comes down to how you actually take care of your vehicle too. A lot of these guys that come in to see me with fleet vehicles and stuff like that and commercial businesses, their stuff is trashed, man. Their batteries are trashed. The connections are trashed. There's nothing cleaned.
Air filters trashed.
I had a doctor come in the other day with his Super Duty, and it looked like this thing had been through hell and back. And it was like a 2020 or a 21, and it already had 160,000 miles on it. And I was like, what are you doing with this thing? And he was like, I do a lot of traveling. I have a trailer that I pull, and we just travel a lot throughout the year. And I was like, how do you have time to be a doctor if you're traveling all the time, man? And he's like, well, it's not just me. If my kid needs it to go camping, if one of my, one of the family members, they just jump in it and they go. And I'm looking at this engine bay, and it's just covered in like probably a 1/4 inch of dust and dirt everywhere on this brand new truck. And I'm like, what the hell, man? Like, wash your truck, clean it off or something every once in a while, man. This is disgusting.
I just had a client I worked on this weekend, and he said his kids always know when he's bringing the truck to A-Rod because he goes and cleans it. I'm like, you know what, man? I appreciate that. I don't want to work on your dirty ass. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, if your battery terminals get corrosion or dirty, then it's harder to get the charge to the battery, shortens the life. But for boss, what you recommend as far as like, because I know I've been slipping, I ain't maintained no battery at all. I haven't cleaned nothing. What do you recommend? Like for a guy like me who's plowing snow or whatever, I'm working it. If you saw my truck, you'd say the same thing. You'd be like, man, you need to do better. What do you recommend I do with the batteries so I don't have to?
Well, what I do is, first of all, you have to understand what ends up happening is when you have a lot of moisture and stuff on top of a battery, and you a lot of dirt and debris and stuff like that. You're basically creating a short. You're connecting those posts together basically in a lighter term, and you actually
when the acid builds up on top.
It's not just acid; it's dirt and debris and everything else, and then it's getting moist and stuff like that, and then you can have acid travel across as well. You can actually take your meter and take the ground and stick it to the ground cable, and then take your positive lead and test for voltage, surface discharge out of the top of it. And you'll see that you'll get like, 1.5 volts or 2.5 volts or 3 volts. I've seen up to 10 volts discharging out of the top of the battery because there's so much dirt and debris and acid and stuff out of it coming out of the top. People wonder why their battery's going dead all the time or why their charging system is failing. It's because you don't take care of your shit. It's dirty. And you never wipe it off. You never do anything. So you're basically losing surface discharge out of this battery all the time. When the vehicle's off, everything, you're creating a connection across those posts, and it's discharging and decreasing the life of that battery. So what I do is I'll just take some like warm soapy water every once in a while under just a rag, and I just wipe it off, and then I just dry it off. I don't put any fancy chemicals or anything off. I just literally just keep it clean.
What about terminals? Do you ever have to clean those real quick or no?
Oh yeah, I do, but I'll spray it with some, I've got like a battery post cleaner and stuff like that. But on my personal vehicles, I never have that problem because I clean it so much, I don't even let it get to that point. But customers' vehicles, I'll pull out my, my battery terminal cleaner. It's got the little hat and stuff over it, and I'll clean out the insides and the outside. I'll spray it with the battery terminal cleaner, and then I'll put everything back together. This is where a lot of people fail. I'll put everything back together after it's clean and dry, and put the posts and stuff back on, and I'll tighten them down, and then I'll spray my protectant on top of it. I don't spray it down and around the post where the connection and the stuff is made. That's you're basically stopping the connection by spraying a lot of stuff down in there anyway. I just only seal the outer portion of it and not the center part where it goes over the post.
Dielectric grease.
Yeah, dielectric grease, the outside of the connections is.
Yeah.
Spray paint.
I really hate that.
Spray
Me
paint.
too.
Terrible.
I think of you when I do it because I know how much you hate it. It makes me want to use even more. I'm just like, send it to Ray.
It makes such a mess.
You brought the lube? Yeah.
Yeah, plenty of it. Just go to the battery. Storage.
So you got to use dielectric. You don't want to use trans lube or nothing like that. Trans jelly or anything.
No.
I mean,
Trans
you don't want
gel.
to.
This goes on after you've made a dry, clean connection, only across the top, not between the actual terminal.
I don't put anything inside on the post itself before I put the clamps down. Back in the day, I used to do that, and we had one of our foremans come up, and he was like, "Is there a reason why you like coat the post and everything around there?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, I'm just trying to make sure no moisture gets in there." And he said, "Are you trying to make sure no connection happens as well?" And I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, that is to keep moisture out, but it's also an insulator, right? So you're insulating the connections from actually being able to make perfect contact with each other. You don't want that on your post and your clamp and your connection point. You make your connection, you knit everything nice and dry and tight together so it has proper connection, and then you put it around the outside so nothing gets in. You're creating a barrier around the proper connection. You're not putting it in the connection. And I was like, oh, okay.
Now that alone can shorten the life of the battery or even the charging system, I imagine.
It's harder to keep it charged, and maybe it's a minimal thing, because once you make that connection, it's going to push most of that out anyway. You know, it's not like it's going to, but over, let's just say, a 4 or 5 year period, you know.
We are not using RTV. We're using Loctite on the brake pad slides, you goofs.
No. Loctite's for the oil filters.
That's
No,
actually
we're
a good question.
RTV for brake fluid. Raymond, that's you saying that.
We are using green.
Loctite 680.
We're using the green. We're using
What
that
is
green compound
Well,
for the
baby.
injector cups.
That's a good question. I was actually debating whether or not to make a short about that today. What lubrication do you guys use? But Dylan asked a good one. What are you guys using to lube the caliper slides on your front ends? What are you using to lube the parts of the bridge or bracket that the brake pads actually slip in? We have Motorcraft, not XG12. That's the electrical grease. What's the silicone grease?
You know what? But before you move on, Aaron, that there was more to that battery section that we were going to talk about that we missed completely.
Blow it up.
So I brought up I sent Aaron a message earlier, said, let's bring up this whole battery thing that we're dealing with as well. And I didn't kind of get into the importance of why that topic came up. It wasn't just about what battery preference do you have, or us trying to help you on the best warranted battery and what I believe or you believe. We're dealing with some things lately. I'm dealing with some things lately. I'll speak on behalf of myself and not anybody else. A lot of 21 F-150s, a lot of 21 to 22, like F-150s, Navigators, Expeditions. I'm noticing that the batteries are not up to par on some of these brand new vehicles. And I don't know if it's because they sat a while before the customer received them. I don't know if it's sat at the dealer for a while and none of the dealers started the vehicle enough to keep the battery health up, which then wouldn't be on Ford. It would be on the dealer themselves. Ford has basically opted out of replacing any battery. Once the vehicle is received by the dealer and everything checks off as okay and it's out for sale, now it's 100% on the dealer, because the corporation itself or the Ford Motor Company knows that the dealers sometimes don't rotate the vehicles enough and start them up to keep the battery health up like they should. So once you receive it as a dealer, that's on you now. There's no more coverage because they know 99.9% of the time the reason that battery's bad is because you were not starting it enough. You were not rotating it on a lot enough.
Correct.
So they are not paying for that anymore, because that would be the dealer's responsibility. Now you receive the vehicle. A month later, you've got, passive entry shutting off. You've got certain features and stuff shutting off. And you're like, what the heck is going on? Why am I having these electronic issues and stuff like that? Well, you don't know the history of that vehicle before you received it. If you didn't order it and keep notification from start to finish, you don't know how long that vehicle sat there. You don't know how many times that vehicle has been rotated that month that it sat on the lot before you received it, or 2 months. What about all these vehicles that were just down 3 to 4 months ago for the 22S36 under hood fire, where a lot of these companies that own these Expeditions, F-150s, and Navigators had to have these vehicles disabled, sitting on lots for 2, 3, 4 months before being hooked back up? Now that we have a harness being put back in, who's to say that all these batteries are okay? Most of them have been sitting there for months without even being started because of disabling these vehicles, and now the battery health has degraded. Who's paying for that? Ford's not paying for that. They just want us to get the permanent fix done, or the 22S36 done, get the vehicles back on the road. But now I'm noticing it's just not these vehicles that have been disabled or vehicles that have been sitting for a while. It's vehicles that customers have been, they purchased months ago. A lady came in for a Better Business Bureau investigation buyback. Ford sent out a field service engineer to go over this vehicle with me. They chose me as the technician because I'm very thorough with what I do, and I document everything very, very meticulously, and I'm very articulate with everything that I write in my stories. And this is a major issue. You don't want a buyback. You don't want the corporation being down your ass saying, well, how come nobody's fixed these issues that the customer has been concerned with? After the engineer left, I'm listening to some of the stuff the customer said about certain features not working and the computer locking up and stuff, and or the screen locking up and Bluetooth and this and that. And I'm like, wait a second, how many dealers have you been to? She said, well, I've been to 4 other dealers before you. Has anybody checked your vehicle health report? Well, no, I don't even know what that is. What do you mean? Well, you have Ford Pass app registered to your car, right? Your phone and all that other stuff. Well, yes. Wait a second, stay on the phone with me for a second. Go in, type in the VIN, and I can see all the way back to August 8th, where this lady has been having continuous low voltage codes set in the system for an entire 60-day period. Why has nobody brought this up? Why has nobody looked at the history of this vehicle out of all these places that it's been? I go out and I check the health of the battery. I'm like, well, the battery's good. It tests fine on the rotunda. But has anybody reset the BMS? Did this vehicle set for a month or 2 before she bought it or received it? Did anybody think to not reset the charging system on this thing to bring it back up to par so it knows, kind of refreshes what's going on? So now I'm seeing 21 and 22 vehicles that are consistently having these battery charging system low voltage issues. And I was telling Aaron, I was just working on a 22 black label Navigator. If you guys don't know what that is one of the most prestigious vehicles that Ford offers the consumer. A black label Navigator will sell anywhere between $115,000 to $130,000.
That's a bad bitch.
And it came in from a magazine review company. It's one of the vehicles that they don't even have. I'm sure they have older models and stuff like that, but this is the newest edition of it. And they're doing a review, writing articles, test driving it on the road, figuring out the performance and everything. It has to go to the dealer for oil changes and module updates. And I'm trying to update the gateway module. Now, before, we used to be able to hook up FDRS or IDS and just update the gateway module. It was a quick process. It ain't that way anymore. A vehicle that's got 50 or 60 modules online, you ain't just hooking it up and updating the gateway module anymore. You got to have a thumbstick. It has to receive data from the module. You have to pull data from the server. It has to take that data, put it on the thumbstick. You got to plug it back into the vehicle, and then it goes through the sync system and everything else to update all this stuff. It took me 7 times of programming to try to get this information to go through this vehicle. And as I'm programming it, there's a menu that pops up and it says, your charging system voltage is 12.4 volts, or the vehicle's off, but the key is on. I got a battery charger on it. I've got a battery charger on the vehicle, mind you. And there's another box right underneath that says, even though your voltage is good, your battery state of health is not good. It should be 80% or above for system health, correct programming and everything else. This thing was sitting at 59%. 59%. It is a brand new vehicle with 3,000 miles on it. It detected that the battery health, even brand new, was not up to par for what programming should be with a battery charger on it. A lot of 21 and 22 F-150 Expedition Navigator battery issues going on right now. Our general manager for our dealership, he had a 21. He was home for the weekend. His parents and stuff were there. They went to go out to eat. They go out to start up the truck. Everything was fine during the beginning part of the day. They go to start up the truck. Nothing. Dash lights, but nothing. It will not crank. It's now clicking and stuff like something's wrong with it. He had to have the vehicle towed to the dealership. This thing is brand new. Goes to the dealership. They put it on the rotunda yesterday. Failed. Another guy on the phone today, 21 F-150. My truck won't start, but the dash lights and stuff come on. Towed into the dealer. Bad battery. For some reason, I'm seeing 21 and 22 model F-150s, Navigators, and Expeditions with batteries that are just shot.
Maybe there's a bad run.
I don't know.
That happens. I remember being in Dearborn, and they're like, hey, we need some people to go switch batteries all day today. There's a bad run.
Battery health is very, very important. And just be conscious of what you're dealing with. If you're getting a lot of low voltage code set in the computer, your Ford Pass app is not always going to notify you of every single situation. This lady with the Platinum Expedition, even though she had Ford Pass app registered, not a single time in 2 months did it notify her that she had low system voltage being stored in the computer as a consistent health report update. Not one single time did she ever get a notification.
When I think about batteries, I think just from my last couple years experience with them, if I ever kill a battery or if my battery's ever that low, I'll replace it. I think it's gotten damaged at that point. Just the fact that it got low.
Well,
I'm
look
not
at what we're
charging
running.
it.
Look at what we're
Well,
running. It ain't just 5 or 6 modules anymore. We're talking 50 plus, 40 plus modules.
Micro voltages, sensitive.
I mean, the Explorers have 2 batteries in them, a regular battery and an
real?
aux battery. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh, is one lithium or are they both lead acid?
I don't know. I know they got 2.
You know what? Somebody commented on that 23 video that I saw in the wild as he was aggressively pulling away from my photographic lens. Was how is this dude rolling around in a brand new 2023 and I ain't even got a build date for my 22? And I was like, you know what? That's a really damn good question.
This is pre-production.
What do you mean for your 22? You ordered a 22?
The gentleman
Somebody
who
else.
commented did.
Oh,
Yeah,
the guy who commented.
This is a
Hey,
pre-production
s-
prototype, dude.
Slow down.
Well, yeah.
DS.
Well, I saw
Slow
the
down,
sticker.
DS. Slow down. This is for Power Stroke owners only.
No, I identify as a power stroke owner.
Chill.
I don't have to.
chill.
No, it don't have to be real. I identify as power stroke.
Yeah,
You guys-
right, dude.
And I
No,
identify
Oh
as
man,
an
I'm
attack
regretting
helicopter.
this. I'm so upset.
I'm power stroke. I don't have to open my hood. I have this labels. I ordered the labels.
Yeah,
Oh, so
he's
you're-
getting all the badge.
So you're the all show and no go crowd.
I ordered labels and tips, exhaust
man,
tips.
he got them
Does it
have-
say?
tips.
Does it say? I wish I was in front of it. I wish I was a power stroke.
Oh man, got him.
I got
I've been
an
waiting all
SMB.
night.
I got an SMB tank on the way,
That's awesome.
and I
So
got
that makes you
a,
that makes you a poser then, right?
Well,
Do you
I
know
can
what-
put
do you
it
know-
in.
Do you know what year it is? It's 2022. This is
You
how
can
things
identify
work.
as anything. I know unicorn, clovers, and blue.
And I
moons,
choose.
know.
Some people may choose unicorns and whatever, but I choose 6-7 power stroke.
That's what I choose. That's what I love. Daddy Diesel, we got that thumbs up. That's what I love talking about. Out of all of the products Ford makes, the 6.7 is by far my favoriteest, if that's a word, platform to work on. I don't care if it's front end, back end, inside, outside. I love the Super Duty, whether it's got the 6.7 or the gas in it. I love the Super Duty, and teaching you guys, talking about everything with batteries and shocks, and seeing really what you guys have out there versus what we're doing. We like to compile a big library of information, and I love when you guys reach out to us, Rainman, Ford Boss, Beard Ford Tech, CPs. We're always here, hopefully try to direct you in the right direction. Ford Asset Tech, what is up, everybody? We're going to be calling a night. If you have any questions or comments, reach out to us. Where that's at. Tomorrow, I have a short. We're going to talk about something kind of interesting at work tomorrow, and Friday video you guys probably don't want to miss, because I guarantee you yours are probably leaking too. We'll see you Friday, everybody.